Hey everybody, it's CricketCallia and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to go over some tips and tricks and just things I've learned from my 1.5 years of playing on my Better Than Adventure Forever world. Please keep in mind these are tips that I myself have built up in my time playing Better Than Adventure, so they may or may not work for you and your playstyle. Minecraft can be played in many different ways. That's the point of a sandbox game. So yeah, these are just my ideas and tips, and I hope you enjoy the video. Now the first thing I have, which is probably the most important, is to not build when you don't feel like building, and being open and okay with taking very long breaks in your world. I always remind myself that there is no rush at all because you're going to have this world forever. It's in the name. I've taken months off of playing for my world, and when I come back, it just means that I'm more motivated and more ready to come back to my world, start building a new project, visit my old projects, and just enjoy my world again. My world will still be there in the same exact state that it was before, so there's absolutely no reason that taking a break is bad in any way, and it's actually a really good thing for your motivation. There are some times when I don't feel like playing on my world at all, but that doesn't mean that I don't want to ever play on the world again, and it doesn't mean I don't want to start a new world. It just means I need a break, maybe from Minecraft or just games in general. My second tip is to play around with the visuals of the game. I like to switch around my texture packs pretty often. The Better Than Adventure Discord has its own community of people who make texture packs and mods for the game, so I definitely recommend you check that out. My personal favorite is the plastic texture pack, which I always love to use when I get bored of the game's default textures. BTA also has a great settings menu with lots of different options. I sometimes like turning smooth lighting off for a more retro look in my world, but sometimes I like it on. You know, it depends on the day, and there are a lot of settings that you can switch on and off to change the visuals of the game. This tip can also apply to game rules and difficulty settings, and I'm pleading you, don't be afraid to turn on keep inventory or peaceful mode, because sometimes you just need that break from the game, from the monsters, and it's okay to change up the game rules to make the game more fun for you. Changing up the settings can help give the game a fresh coat of paint and maybe make the game more exciting for you to play. BTA has gotten me into texture pack making, and as you may be able to see here, the purple hot bar that you're seeing in the clip is something that I made for myself to give my game a little bit more personality, I guess, and more colors. Changing up the way the game looks and feels might actually have a subconscious effect on the way you play the game. For instance, if I turn on the sprinting game rule, I may be more prone to building further away from the center of my base, and may not focus on roads as much because sprinting is easier. I can just sprint over terrain and hills to get to where I want to go. But when I don't have sprinting, I focus more on paths and infrastructure, and sometimes turning on the alpha grass texture pack makes me want to build a little bit more old school styled. My next tip is to come back to older builds even after you've built them, because maybe there are some things you can improve, or maybe you just don't feel like starting a new project. So I think it's always okay to come back to things, because your world is never finished. You can always change things around if you don't like how they look, or even just tear things down. It's totally okay to do that. Even after 1.5 years of living in the same base, I feel like I'm still adding little small details and sometimes even redesigning stuff in my own base. I recently got a chicken pet, so that made me realize I had to put doors all around my whole base, which I hadn't had fully before. Even if you have sentimental value to things, it's okay to update things. Change is good. The fourth thing I want to talk about is having options open for what kind of build you want to do, or what kind of activity you want to do in your world. Sometimes I don't feel like giving very much effort, or I just want to have something on in the background while I play, so I'll either go mining or work on my paths around the world, which is not a very intensive activity, so I don't have to give much effort when I'm doing those things. Or maybe if I want to do an activity that requires a lot of commitment, I have a lot of projects around my world that I can work on at any moment's notice. My next way that I keep playing on my forever world is thoroughly planning out builds, or doing the opposite. Sometimes it's fun to open up my notes document and plan out every last detail of a build that I want to build. Some of the builds I've made have been planned with the image editing software on my computer, and I just draw over where I want to build some stuff. And this mostly only works if I already have the idea of what I want to build in my head. I do this by taking a blank screenshot of a building site where I want to build something. And with the drawing tool, I draw in pillars, floors, and walls, and windows of the build that I want to go there, and it just gives me an easier idea and basically serves as a blueprint of the build that I'm going to build. And the reason I said, or do the opposite at the beginning of this tip is because sometimes I don't do that at all. Sometimes I place down a block and decide that I'm going to build in this location right now. Giving zero thought into a build is also pretty fun because sometimes you don't even know what you're going to make until it's already halfway done, and that's where some of my favorite builds have come from. Another way that I keep playing on the same world is the fact that BTA has updates. They have an awesome developer team that updates the game and keeps it fresh, adds new features. When they add new features or new blocks, I can get inspired to build new things. And in the newest update, they added statues, which makes me want to build a clothing store really badly. In the new Nether update, they also added Gloomstone, which is like a purple cobblestone, and it is like my favorite block ever, so I'm so happy that they added that, and I can't wait to build with it. Even if they never update the Better Than Adventure mod ever again, I'll still be playing this forever, I think. It's really just a great mod, and I'm grateful for everything they've added so far. My next tip is something that I've found really useful for myself, which is just taking time to walk around the world and enjoy the beauty of the game. Minecraft is honestly a really beautiful game. It has a great atmosphere, and just walking around my world sometimes just brings me to a very comforting place, and it's a very, very useful way to calm me down sometimes. I personally love to have peaceful mode on during the night and just go around and take screenshots of things I find pretty and become a photographer and practice my photography. Even if I don't necessarily feel like building anything, taking a walk around my world can just change my perspective. And the last thing that keeps me motivated is this YouTube channel. I've received a lot of kind feedback on my world tour, which I did in January, so I'm very thankful for everybody who left a comment on that video. And the next world tour is coming in January of 2027, so I'm so excited for that. And it also gives me a reason to keep playing on the world so I can show it off for you guys. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe, and I hope that maybe these tips could inspire you on your own Minecraft journey, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye!